Yeah,
Blah
blah, blah,
blah
blah,
blah
blah,
blah 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 blah.
I don't hear any music or any voice.
There's nothing happening.
Dag nabbit.
Dag nabbit, Bobby.
Dag nabbit, Bobby.
Dag nabbit, Bobby. What? Do you think I know what a JPEG is?
What a
Hey, I hear
JPEG.
sound now, but it's like super delayed.
Well, that's the stream, right? It's always gonna be a little
Yeah.
delayed.
The
I
stream.
think.
Are we live? Oh, I
Is it 20
see.
seconds? Huh. Okay.
Now the dang nabbit Bobby is is coming in.
Dag nabbit, Bobby. I'm in the future.
I'm in the future, Bobby.
I'm okay, Dad.
I'm okay, Dad. I have not seen one episode of King of the Hill.
Really?
That's fine.
I just think the voice is really funny.
Just boom hour. I'll tell you what, you know what I've got to say about that dang.
I've seen like one scene with like the fucking My Hero theme played over it, and it worked. You Say Run, I think it is. Yeah, that one. Really good video. I wish I could find it.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're at a point where King of the Hill memes might be better than King of the Hill.
I watched it when I was like younger a bit. King of the Hill. It's pretty.
In a corner,
Wait, it's not
like
a dark room. Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss.
Alright, I think I
and
got
soft,
everything
almost
settled.
growl-like sound.
Nice.
Let's go.
Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. You see
I
it,
love
Wilson?
this announcer.
He
I mean,
his
this narrator.
tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern shutter.
Yeah, it's Watson.
Slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which you referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
Buria.
Yeah.
It's Russian.
Does anybody here speak Russian?
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle. A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well, what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch before maritime police come. We must wait.
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see,
The big guy, the heavy gunner?
5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
It almost sounds like the guy from Team Fortress.
Don't be absurd. This is murder. An in cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. but that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Herlock Sholmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
Okay. I don't think your voice is coming through in the stream, Rio. Yeah.
Whoops! I just noticed I'm muted in the OBS.
Well, it'd be like that sometimes, I guess.
I think this is Sholmes, so I think.
No, I think this is Susato, if I'm not mistaken.
So you wake up now, hmm?
Oh, it's just.
Oh, Sailor Man.
Just some sailor.
Drug.
I guess.
Do Russian.
I guess Andre can do this.
Okay. It's Russian, right? This person?
Yeah.
Yep.
We had to drag you out of the wardrobe.
Not gonna lie, I like that. I like that a lot.
I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man.
You. You found me then.
Da, we found you. And now you pay. Criminal. How long are you hiding in that tiny wardrobe?
Sorry.
Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is.
No, I'll tell you everything.
Is this Sherlock?
I believe this is Susato.
Oh,
This
okay.
time.
Only one thing I'd like to know from you.
Isn't that?
Did you do it? Did you take his life?
Miss Susato. Wait, what did you say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma?
Ha! You pretend you do not know. You are wolf in sheep's belt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses.
What?
Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. This very cabin was bolted shut from the inside.
His body?
Please. Do not try to tell us you were doing this terrible thing in your sleep.
Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. These handcuffs. Surely you don't think I...
Have to know. Did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please.
No. No!
Discord.
Damn it. So, how does the audio sound so far?
Okay, let me hear it. Sounds good.
Sounds good? Everything's like in sync or anything?
Yeah.
Alright. Cool. For some reason, on my side, Heidi kind of, whenever you start, Discord kind of cuts, just kind of fades you in.
I don't know. Let me look at my settings. I thought I turned everything off.
I'm having so much fun playing the Russian sailor. I don't know. It's getting to talk like this all the time. Yes, I'm Russian sailor.
I have no idea. I mean, I have everything checked off, so... Anybody? Any ideas?
I
I don't know.
Maybe just like speak a little bit closer to your mic, but like otherwise, I don't know.
That's annoying. I don't know.
Don't worry about it.
It's all good.
Alright, we continue. Wait, what?
We continue? Or?
Did the audio get cut off? Or...
No.
No? Oh, okay.
I guess we'll continue. Kazuma. It's just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble?
Hang on, wait.
Alright.
Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else could you come to England with me to study?
It was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way that Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor. I thought I was going to die.
Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. You must be even less of a man than you look.
Hey!
Wow.
Honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body.
Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Great Britain. But if you confine yourself to my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you.
I hope not. I get the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway.
They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure.
What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady?
From our faithful judicial assistant Mikotoba, you mean?
From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away.
No. But if she knew what we'd done, that would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this.
I suppose so.
Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you'd better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it'll be a breeze.
Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it.
Stop worrying. I tell you what. I'll be back.
Okay. Well, Andre.
Okay. I tell you what. Why don't you write "keep out" or something on this piece of paper?
What?
Then I can stick it over the wardrobe doors once you're inside.
I don't know.
I think I practice my British.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I can just do my Ben impression. Okay,
I'm
I'll
back.
do that.
Oh,
okay.
Trav,
Oh,
yeah.
welcome back.
We've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together.
We leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Don't make more trouble for yourself. Murderer.
No, I'm not a murderer.
Duh, you said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes.
No, that's not right. I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend?
No one else could have done it. Admit the truth.
Susato-san. Please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Adi? Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Shit, mic issues. Okay.
Oh, she's back.
Oh, she's back.
Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Okay, she
Hello?
needs to
Okay.
restart Discord. Give him a moment.
Okay.
Hello? Oh boy.
We are experiencing technical difficulties.
Technical
Please bear us.
difficulties, duh.
Please bear for us. Bear a moment while we get these things in order in stream. Duh.
Da. You know.
Hello?
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 Oh, jeez. What the fuck happened?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't know what the fuck that was. Okay, sorry. Anyway,
No worries.
Um,
No worries. No worries.
Is the beginning of my sentences still cutting off?
No.
No?
No, you're good.
Okay, cool. Very well. There is something I would like to ask of you too.
Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare is getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. He really was killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream. And these handcuffs. They think I did it? They think I'm Kazuma's killer?
They found him. The cabin was locked from the inside.
What do you mean?
There's no access to the cabin via porthole window, and the bolt on the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls.
What?
Or to put it another way, culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation?
This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly?
Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances?
Please, Susato-san, you have to tell me!
Cause of death is still undetermined.
They don't know how he died.
Ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course, he has no post-mortem analysis experience. Don't suppose we shall learn more until an expert has been consulted at our next port of call.
So presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of energy on you then.
That's true, yes.
Can't anyone tell me what happened exactly in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone kill Kazuma?
Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone.
Please.
Whatever you say, you were here in the cabin after all.
Well, yes, I was, but...
He would always wake before dawn and do his training first thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin, as I have every day so far on this voyage. This morning, he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't.
Does that mean he was already dead when Susato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder?
I knocked, but there was no reply. And I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. Crewman forced open the cabin door, and when we managed to get inside... there was Kazuma-sama, collapsed on the floor.
And the white tape there now shows exactly how he was found, I suppose. I had no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow.
I wish it wasn't the case, but that's just very hard to believe.
This is all very hard for me. This is all very hard for me to believe too. Trust me.
Now I've told you everything that I know. So it's my turn to ask you a question.
Yes. All right. My head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything.
Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you?
Oh, yes. I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, and I've been shut up in this cabin the entire time.
I had no idea. How could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing?
No, that would have been impossible, obviously.
Yes, of course.
Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together.
He actually asked you? Why?
I'm afraid I don't really know the reason myself.
Don't understand.
Kazuma, why did you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you?
Snuggle.
Snuggle.
To
Oh,
snuggle.
snuggling to England.
Let's snuggle together.
Oh, so good.
It's an idea that's been on my mind ever since the end of that incredible trial. I think I told you then, didn't I? That you ought to become a lawyer yourself.
Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious.
You have a talent for it. I can assure you of that.
But I've never really thought of becoming a lawyer.
Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there?
Well, no, definitely not.
But on a personal level, if you were to become a lawyer, then
Then what?
nothing. Forget it.
So why is Kazuma the only one with a British accent?
I think it's just I was trying to mimic the dub voice that they have.
Gotcha.
That's my personal choice. But yeah,
I'm just personally stuck with the takes we did a couple years ago. So
Yeah, I do want to try the British though.
if you want to do the British, go ahead.
I mean,
Alright, okay.
Susato's accent's a lot more like based in Japanese though, so like
It's kind of a mix.
It's a mix.
a little bit of a mix, yeah.
Yeah, like they're just getting a handle of English or something.
Mm-hmm.
Sound quite proficient in my ear. Anyway, ...
Ellipses.
Sama-sama is always saying the same thing. He wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you.
I actually liked it a lot.
Yeah. Yes, maybe. I'm just gonna try it. But something's still bothering me a little. Little. How do T's work in British?
Little.
Think of man.
It depends if you're upper class or lower.
Ryunosuke is probably lower.
We are certified poor.
I'm pretty sure they learned Queen's English.
Yeah, true though.
True. Whatever, I'm just gonna do my best. Just like Ryunosuke. The look in his eyes then. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. Susato-san. I'm sorry that we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away of the ship, I mean.
I know Kazuma-sama. Expect he was trying to protect me. Avoid me becoming guilty by association.
Wow, his exact words.
That's exactly right, yes. What perfect, in fact. His exact words.
His exact words.
Wow.
Wow.
You're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in this cabin?
Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. Always. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I...
Asleep?
Well, yes.
So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-san was killed.
Well... Yes? I know it sounds unbelievable, really, I do. But it's the truth. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything.
Really?
Is something wrong?
Oh, no, it's... Please forget it.
Susato-san, you have to believe me, I didn't do it!
I really don't want to doubt you. Trouble is no one else who could possibly have done this.
No. I don't understand. Why? This does have to happen. I can't take this.
Try to go anywhere. The perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen.
Sorry. But Kazuma was killed under my nose right here. I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm just supposed to sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow this to happen.
Well, what do you propose to do then?
I'm going to investigate. I'm going to find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life, and how and why they did it. So I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. What the?
That was a Susato takedown.
Susato takedown? Right on the money. What martial art form is that?
The best one,
What?
I'll have you know.
I'm going to need you to prove it.
Sorry, prove it.
I need evidence.
What? But how am I supposed to?
You forgot already. Your change just a few years ago. Successfully then ended up in a court of law.
Ah, see. She's expecting me to present some conclusive evidence. I have to get Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now that proves I'm not guilty of this awful crime. I will use this paper seal.
Audio's getting a little crunchy.
Yeah.
Which one?
The stream audio.
Which stream audio?
Yeah,
The game.
Discord audio, yeah.
Oh, okay. Here I go!
Into the Matrix.
Into the Matrix!
Oh.
Alright. How is it?
Sounds
much
okay
better.
so far.
That's better now.
Okay. Hey, oops.
Yes!
Tell me, when I was discovered in this wardrobe before, was this piece of paper stuck over the walls? The doors?
Oh, yes, it was. I remember clearly.
I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place wherever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So naturally, he did the same thing last night as well.
Yes, of course. Gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them.
But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own.
Yes, that's quite true.
In other words, it's impossible I killed Kazuma. Ellipses.
Well, even if you all sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you.
Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up?
No.
Please?
No.
Oh.
Well, in the light of that evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here at least.
Thank you. So you finally believe me?
Sorry, no.
What?
Not sure yet. Can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back in position.
What does she think I am, a magician?
No, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. Do the same.
All right. Let's Scooby-Doo this crap, Susato-san.
Oh, zoinks, Kazuma's dead.
Understand me? Still have my doubts.
Oh.
I'll be watching you to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. Wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example.
Right. Well, anyway, I should make a start in investigating in here. Examine everything I can.
Every nook and cranny.
Kazuma, I swear, I will avenge your death. Is that you in my head?
Yes, I died, and now I'm a part of you.
Oh no!
No! Go talk to Russian sailor.
Go talk to Russian sailor.
Go talk to him now.
For you, I shall talk to them. Perhaps I should see what this Russian crewman makes of the scene of the crime. Excuse me.
What?
I was wondering how it was going, the investigation I made.
Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it is not true, I see.
Sorry?
The criminal asking investigator for information about his crime? Very funny.
Oh, it wasn't supposed to be a joke.
Doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty.
It might be useful. He might have some useful information, though. I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all?
Niet, of course not. Now back to corner of room and make silent. I say no more to you. I say no more. I say no more to you, young man. Young Japanese man.
Andre can hear how much fun you're having. I love it.
Did I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there, he seemed a little flustered.
Oh dear, that won't do.
Oh? What's the matter, Susato-san?
Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused, I forget to look around properly.
Oh, yes. That's not good.
I suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san? Sure you're careful to look all around using B&M, aren't you?
What are these?
Huh?
This again? These words. These letters.
Speak English.
I'm using the B button.
Now, let's investigate all corners of this cabin.
Yes, let's do that. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now.
Ryunosuke, turn up your FOV.
Did Kazuma write that before he died? It looks like it's written in ink.
Must have knocked the ink pot from the desk when he collapsed on the floor. I suppose he wrote this message by dipping his finger in the spillage.
That holy Lego plugger.
Me too.
Oh, Kazuma-sama. I doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it.
I suppose he was trying to leave some kind of clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner. But I can't read your writing. You need to write better.
I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read.
What? You got straight A's!
You don't know that.
I sure do!
Don't think that's Japanese, Naruhodo-san.
What? Then what language is it?
It pains me to admit it, but I don't know.
It's not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? Okay. Examine the mark behind the leg. What do you think this is? It looks like a broken piece of glassware. Whatever that thing was, it appears to have broken cleaning too.
Glass is such a beautiful color. Looks like a cute little Netsuke fastener with a kimono outfit.
I'm not sure that sounds like Kazuma. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him. Would he?
It was gonna go on his sword.
The mark beside it. What is it, I wonder? It has a sort of brick-like hue.
Yes, you're right. It is the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color around anything else in the cabin.
It's a very large traveling case, isn't it?
Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me.
Memories? What do you mean?
Well, that's actually how I stowed away on this vessel. I was brought on board inside that case.
Ah, yes. I see it says this way up. Japanese.
Amazing.
You would think it would have said fragile.
Which, in hindsight, I should have realized the foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read Japanese. I was turned over and over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here.
Oh dear. Being a stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds.
No. Well, it was less painful than the Susato takedown. Oops.
Shelf.
The books have fallen over on the shelf. Look, they've all toppled in the same way.
What's this? A statue of some god of the sea. Though he's fallen over as well.
Yes, it's almost as if the whole shelf has been ransacked. and everything mown down at once.
I wonder if... Perhaps it was Kazuma-sama doing his morning sword training, do you think?
I seriously doubt it.
Perhaps... it was you, Naruhodo-san, in a fit of rage.
I wouldn't have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to help mess up a few books and a statue. Could the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder?
Books.
Oh, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess.
Susato, this is a crime scene.
Okay. Red note.
I think it needs a notice on the wall.
Oh. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Buria.
Buria?
Buria.
Buria?
Buria.
Buria?
Buria?
It's essentially a list of requests from the captain to all passengers on float. Board. Where did float come from?
No.
I don't know, but it sounded British, so I approve.
We forgot how to read. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Foreshadowing.
Tasty, tasty.
What? Why are you staring at me?
Sorry. I was just thinking. You more of a dangerous object or a pet?
Susato, please.
Can't decide.
Susato-san. Well, one thing's for sure. Either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here.
No.
Examine the table.
This is where dear Kazuma-sama would have sat whenever he was writing.
London Diary. Poor Kazuma-sama. He didn't even make it to his destination. Why did I call him Kazuma-sama?
Because it sounds cool.
Yeah.
Because they're past the point of honorifics. That's just his best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prize.
As though the last entry is incomplete.
Which means, what? He was in the middle of writing it when the incident happened? Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. Ah!
That's out of the question. Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts.
But what if there's something important? Something relevant to the case? All right. I won't read it. Can you please pick me up first?
Poor Kazuma-sama.
I don't like prying into people's personal matters either. But in this case, isn't the need for clues more important?
Some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. You've really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san.
I think living isn't quite the right description.
Oh, no, I suppose not. Though it must have been rather exciting making this voyage in your own secret hideout.
The trouble was, I never knew when a member of the crew might come in. So yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception.
Because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin.
No, sadly not. Okay. that.
This is... It's a bell cord contraption, I think.
What do you mean, contraption?
Read about it in a book I was studying that talked about life in Great Britain. Large households often have bell cords like this, which you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants.
Really? That sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a little try?
Yes! The interest of cultural research, obviously.
We pulled the thing.
Suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people.
Racist.
There's a lot of racism in this game, surprisingly.
Yeah.
It is turn of the 20th century England and Japan.
It's true.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure that everyone's busy, that's all. Other racists.
Say, oh, the racist.
Mutter, racist.
I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. Hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin.
Isn't that a little odd?
What do you mean?
Well, this ventilator, if that's what it is, looks like it must connect to the next door cabin.
Yes, it would appear to. You're right.
But if its purpose is to allow fresh air into the room, surely it should be connected to the outside.
That's true. So that rain and spray don't find their way in when the seas are rough, or something like that?
I suppose. Maybe that's it. What are you doing? Who's that? He wasn't there a minute ago. As far as I can tell, it looks like he might be European.
Oh, how did he...
You've noticed the man too, haven't you? He's got his bum to the wall.
He's just sitting there.
First, he hasn't completely toppled over.
I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious and tall. Suspiciously tall.
Tall.
Naruhodo-san, don't tell me. You really not know who that is?
Well, no. I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of this crew. There's something very unusual about him. And is he investigating Kazuma's desk, or is he just playing on it? I can't tell.
Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him.
Am I just imagining it, or does Susato-san look almost uncontrollably excited?
Either way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case... Press space on people who are in the crosshairs, you can converse with them.
Of course.
Huh?
I shall press space when I need to converse with a person. All right then. I'll get to that suspiciously tall gentleman in my sights and see what he has to say for himself by pressing space.
By pressing the space
Please
button.
do.
I didn't have to press the space bar. Excuse me. Sir?
Who's gonna be Herlock?
I guess it's Trav.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Excuse me? Do you have a moment?
Shh. This is a critical point in my investigation.
Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly.
Yes, perhaps that would be for the best.
Greetings! I hope I haven't kept you long.
What exactly are you doing in Kazuma's desk just now?
Ah, I see. Fascinating.
Sorry? What do you see? It feels like he's looking right through me.
Oh, yes, everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken.
Sorry? What?
And now, whilst venturing toward foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament.
Oh, well, that's true at least.
But how?
How the deuce did I know that? Perhaps.
How the deuce?
How the deuce?
How the deuce?
How the deuce did I know that?
Perhaps. It was merely a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining.
You perhaps managed to deduce anything else?
But of course, a great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are, a merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when the Barabond occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, you ended his life too. Beribboned, excuse me. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes.
Ellipses. Just to be clear, you are talking about me, are you?
Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name?
I don't even see one person who fits the bill.
Oh, it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama.
What?
And you're plotting a revolution, too. Shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked.
No, listen. There's no way out!
Yeah! Now explain yourself. Tell me everything.
This is ridiculous!
We've solved the puzzle.
How could you do it?
For pity's sake, open your eyes! I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously!
Oh, forgive me.
And as for you!
Oh, hey, that's me.
What kind of deduction was that? You were just saying the first thing that came into your head.
Ah, but was I not right? With venturing toward foreign climes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Do you not?
Well, yes, maybe.
Ah, there you have it, you see. What do you make of that,
Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs in the scene of a murder. So, I'm not really sure you could call that a deduction. It's more plain observation.
Indeed. And observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy certitude. And more often than not, I'm right.
I don't think you introduced yourself.
Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Herlock Sholmes.
So, it's really you, the actual Herlock Sholmes?
The very same. The inimitable... Inimitable?
Inimitable.
The inimitable actual Herlock Sholmes.
Do you know this man, Susato-san?
The most famous detective in the world? Naruhodo-san, of course I do! There's nobody who hasn't heard of him!
What planet have I been living on, then?
Must ask him what he's deduced. We'll have worked out the entire case already, I'm sure.
Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this?
This strange tall man has entered your best friend's murder scene.
I do not approve. Great detective. So, you're a great detective, are you? Sorry? What was your name again?
Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Herlock Sholmes.
Here, in the copyrighted flesh.
Sir Arthur and Conan Doyle, suck it.
Oh, I see. You're German. Herlock, was it?
Hairlock.
Herlock?
No, I have no hair. I mean, I have hair. Please, call me Sholmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication.
Yes, Rance magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain.
Reference to real life's Strand magazine.
Never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially.
Damn, he really just handed you a copy of his manga.
Ah, yes. The Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. So, you're the protagonist in a series of short stories, then?
Indeed I am.
And you've read so many of your own stories, you started to think you really are a detective?
Make no mistake, I'm not the poor deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward.
Backward?
My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in the magazine.
You have a biographer? Do you?
Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London.
Dr. Wilson?
I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Why, this very moment I am returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown.
I like how you said cursed.
Cursed.
Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not.
Deduction, you see, is to me a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form.
Science?
Really?
The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. A furtive glance, a twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin, all these things are data.
It flashed before my eyes. Right.
And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago.
How can you look at me in the eye and claim that?
So you see, I have a turn both for observation and for deduction. And fame. That is what makes me the one and only Herlock Sholmes.
Oh, so you admit it.
I have hair, look at it!
Have you managed to deduce anything about this particular case yet?
Have I managed to deduce anything? My dear fellow. Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in his most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him.
And I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning. Summoned all the crew members to force the cabin door open.
And I concealed myself among their number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective Herlock Sholmes was on board. And the handcuffs seem to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me.
Oh, really? 2 facts, you say? Oh, well...
2 facts in the middle of this ship.
Mr. Sholmes, tell us, please. What 2 facts were apparent to you when you came to this cabin this morning?
Ah, yes. But first, let us be precise. The 2 facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Oh god, this stream Discord is getting worse.
Give me a second.
Indeed.
There's also like a spammer in that.
What?
Yeah.
What spammer?
One of famous by followers and viewers on bigfollows.com.
Oh, do you have a bot?
Oh, ignore it.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Wait, we can ban it.
How can we ban it?
Go into your OBS.
Uh-huh.
Do you see the big the crossout symbol like by the chatter's name?
Yes.
Hit that.
It didn't do anything.
What the?
Wait.
Oh.
Whatever. I managed to block him.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Let me get back into place, shall we? Okay. Is everything okay now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not for me. I just see a little squares and Dream isn't loading on Discord.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Maybe try disconnecting and reconnecting?
Hold on,
Okay,
I got it.
let's see here. Huh, it's grayed out. Did you stop or?
All right, here I go.
There we go.
Okay. We good now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I already read the line. Yeah.
Yes, I understand, but what were they?
Allow me to elucidate.
That's a big word.
Yes, I'm aware. The two facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number 1, the cabin was locked from within, rendering escape of the culprit out of the question. Number 2, the victim was Russian and killed following a dispute with an acquaintance.
Hold on, Mr. Sholmes. What made you think the victim was Russian?
Was Russian.
Russian. I don't know.
Russian.
Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor.
That
is the Russian word for ward.
You really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian?
In their final moments, many find their native tongue filling their head. For this young man, Russian.
Kazuma was Russian, was he? Wait. What?
Initially, I considered Garderob may be the name of the killer. A certain Robert Gard, perhaps.
Is that how you say the word? Garderobe.
I have no idea. But in the interests of thoroughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least.
Found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly.
Quite so. I found you, the renowned Russian revolutionary killer.
Why is it I'm Russian too?
I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And if my memory serves, that outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people.
School uniforms are the traditional dress of the Russian people? I had no idea.
Susato, please.
And I had no idea a detective could get something so wrong.
I took a photograph of the victim and the message, that I might analyze it for possible hidden details. Where did the music go? Oh. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed.
Yes. Kazuma had already been taken away when I woke up. This is the first time I've actually seen him like this.
You're all right, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Photograph has been added to the court record. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes?
What, pray?
You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said I was a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that...
Yes, the train of reasoning that led me to the truth.
Would you mind explaining that train of reasoning to me, do you think?
I don't know what to say. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Certainly, if it interests you.
How many times I'm not Russian and I don't speak Russian? Okay. Can we talk about your deduction before? The things you concluded about me, I mean.
The now famously accurate troubling predicament you find yourself in?
Actually, it was the other details that I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and assassin of 16 part?
Yes, the more sordid details. It was a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai.
This looks familiar.
This vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night, the young Russian was murdered.
Since when was Kazuma Russian?
Sounds like Mr. Sholmes has concluded that he was Russian because of what Kazuma-sama wrote on the floor.
It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him to escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, villain Bolshevik.
Villain Bolshevik. Wow. Well done, localizers, well done. No, how could it have been me? I don't even look anything like this man, just look at his face!
Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well.
I'm going to kill this man.
I'm about to communize my entire face.
Please.
And I died and your name does not appear on the passenger list. Need I say more?
Well, that's because I'm a stowaway.
The other details. 16 victims and assassination blowing up Crystal Tower.
Yes. Done nearly into man printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds the man has perpetrated thus far, and those he is plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was concluded. There could be no mistake.
Revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspaper reporters, I wonder.
What about the part where you said, I was just returning from Afghanistan?
Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik has recently returned after a period of subversive activities in a war-torn region of Afghanistan.
Where even is it anyway? This Afghanistan place.
Here, take the paper for yourself, as a little memento of this great deduction.
Thank you.
I've absorbed all that is of interest to me within its pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby.
This article has been added to the court record.
Did you just call him trash?
Shush.
Trash.
And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well.
On the back?
Cast your eye over it sometime if the interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret.
It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt to just glance at the article. Maybe there might be a picture or two. Before we started talking, you were examining Kazuma's desk, weren't you?
Kazuma. Yes, the victim.
Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all?
Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. We see that the victim was engaged in penning some text.
London diary. Kazuma was keeping notes of the trip. But I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Particularly a certain lady in the room. She'll knock you out, I assure you.
Tragic.
Indeed.
And something you ought to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading.
I hate you. You mean you've read it already?
It is my business to know what other people do not. Yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. A whole smattering.
Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what a Susato takedown is. Susato-san, aren't you going to throw the detective with one of your trademark trick takedowns?
I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean?
We're getting gaslit.
Life is so unfair.
We just got gaslit by a 17-year-old. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belonging to the victim. It would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray be precise as to details.
Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese.
A smattering, dear boy, a smattering.
A smattering.
Sayonara, bonsai, mikado, nado nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. But this diary is littered with complicated-looking characters of which I can read precisely none.
So what was all that showing off before then?
You would be so kind as to show me. I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Holmes. Sholmes.
Ooh.
Wow, now she wants to read it, and when she was like, don't read it, don't read it.
We're being gaslit.
Oh.
I'm much obliged, my dear madam.
Final entry here in Kazuma-sama's diary consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. and hear a faint whistling sound.
A whistling sound?
These are very deep waters. Pray, go on.
The second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. Looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
A speckled band? What on earth does that mean?
I have no idea. I've never heard that expression before.
Ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring...
Oops.
You're fine. To the lattice there on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin.
Yes, the adjoining cabin. Kazuma's diary has been entered into the court record. I finally said it the whole thing.
Woo!
Woo!
Let's go. So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being at least.
Do you have somewhere to go?
As it happens, the victim's writings in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and if I am still too long, the seasickness takes hold.
I suppose you're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to.
Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds revel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate. Hence the truth will become clear soon enough.
Do you think perhaps that we can go with you?
No. that would be somewhat complicated.
What? Why? But why?
A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer.
These.
I forgot these were here. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter. No.
There's no point in trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided I was the culprit in the first place.
Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point.
You must be joking! You just said only a moment ago!
Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing.
Actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too.
You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you had the face of a criminal, you know? No, really. Bro, we're being gaslit so hard right now.
So what? Were you looking at my knees before? Some great detective you are.
Well, anyway, that was then and this is now.
What do you mean?
What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate.
Now he's just being plain rude.
This man is insane.
I am so mad. And off she goes, having just laughed in my face. His sense of humor is as twisted as his name. It's so backwards, I swear.
Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for?
Hmm?
Let's go and investigate the cabin next door as well.
Aren't you forgetting something? What about bees? There's a lot!
The Kazuma-sama spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue. You're willing to give up? Just going to roll over and accept your fate?
As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. Next scene.
Could you imagine being the crewman just watching all of this happen? This girl just throws this dude like 3 times.
This tiny Japanese woman keep throwing this Japanese man.
Yes.
Very funny.
Very funny. Good entertainment.
Very funny.
Popcorn.
To the brought popcorn. This is very good show.
I had no idea that there's popcorn at this time. Is there?
Is there?
Probably.
Possibly.
It's like almost 1900.
All right.
I'm sure we've dried our corn enough.
I think we have some investigation to finish off here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin while we wait for a chance to slip next door.
Idea.
The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. And I owe it to Kazuma to do everything I can to find my way out of this, and bring the real culprit to justice. My accent is so over the place. I am so sorry.
It'd be like that. If it's easier, it would probably just be better to, like, you know, talk in your normal voice.
All right, I'm back.
Sword.
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 It's Kazuma-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it.
Yes. He was always saying the Japanese man's katana is his soul.
I believe that he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip.
I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. Now he's gone. But I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet.
I'm gonna need that for later.
Yeah. That's my dinner from last night. A roast chicken. It was really tasty.
Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But did you eat it on the floor here?
I'm not a dog, Susato-san. I ate it on the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor.
But Kazuma-sama didn't like chicken at all, did he?
No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me.
No, does that mean Kazuma-sama spent his last night on this earth with an empty belly? It's just too horrible.
Now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. I've investigated thoroughly, but I can't find anything out of place. Seigi, the Japanese word for justice. The brushstrokes are straight and true, just like Kazuma.
Yes, his calligraphy always was a reflection of his heart. But you really look at those characters without feeling shame, knowing who drew them so thoughtfully.
Of course I can. I mean, I'm innocent, so why wouldn't I be able to?
Even though you stowed away on this ship?
No. Now you're going to bring that up, are you? I can't win. Nope.
I think you just have to talk to the sailor man.
Excuse me.
What?
I was wondering if I can ask you a favor. Would you mind if I investigate a little outside?
Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it's not true, I see.
Sorry?
A criminal asking person guard to help him escape? Very funny.
We're in the middle of the sea. There's no chance of me escaping.
Niet. You stay in this cabin until next port. Then it's up to Hong Kong police to decide what they do with you. You stay.
All right. There's no point in trying to appeal to this man's better nature, that's for sure.
I went for help and the crewman forced the door open. This bolt had been firmly closed.
It's quite small it's quite a small bolt, and not particularly sturdy. And it just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. When she glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel. The culprit used a needle and thread to draw a bolt across from outside the room in a situation like this.
Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. The door of this cabin and its frame are made of metal, and they sealed together perfectly. There would be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid.
When she glares at me like that, I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Oh, look over there. It's him.
I wonder who that is.
He wasn't there before, was he?
That's what I thought.
Why don't we try talking to him?
Probably because I'm likely to get yelled at again. But I suppose I could try. Andre, feel free to do Satoru.
Okay. What is he British?
No, he's Japanese.
Oh, okay.
But he has a slight British inflection, I think.
All right.
It's not required, but feel free.
Okay.
Is that?
Is something wrong, Naruhodo-san?
Oh, no. It's just that crewman standing by the door. I can't help feeling I've seen him somewhere before.
Oh, yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Sir?
Yeah. Yes. What can I do for you? It's this dude.
This fucking dude. What's he doing?
It's you. I recognize that face, but that it can't be. It is.
Didn't know you were here, Inspector Hosonaga.
Man doesn't even have his own theme. It's the Giselle Brett theme.
Hello again.
What are you doing here?
I think that should be my line. I was so stunned when I saw you. My heart stopped.
Nearly stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope.
I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew and even board this ship.
Again?
Certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector.
If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask.
I never expected to see this man on board. But perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Sir, you know what, never mind. So what are your special orders this time, Inspector?
Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew?
I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. I take full responsibility.
For what?
My orders were to act as Asogi-san's. Asogi? Yeah, Asogi-san's body.
Yeah.
It was Minister of Justice Jigoku who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Asogi-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated.
Assassinated? How could that even be a possibility?
I'm not sure. But these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Minister Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities.
This is incredible.
Don't believe it. Kazuma-sama was assassinated.
Obviously, we couldn't give Asogi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew.
I see.
And I didn't take my eyes off him for the entire time we've been on board. From morning until night, every day. But I never imagined what would happen here, inside his own cabin, not here on the first-class deck. I failed miserably at my assignment, and Asogi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize.
Inspector.
So if there's anything at all that I can do to help now, just say the word.
We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves.
I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer?
Of course not.
I'd really like to investigate the cabin next door.
Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin.
I'm sorry.
What?
You've been deemed to risk the ship's safety. If you moved even to touch the handle of the cabin door, stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two.
I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now. They think I'm a murderer as well.
Would it be possible to give me something to work with? Do you think I'm going to need something? I'm going to need something persuasive.
Do you mean?
If I had solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example. I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd lay my life on the line if I had to.
But I don't see how.
Maybe a way.
What? Really?
Of how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruhodo-san. Presenting me with a piece of evidence that you had already had in your possession.
Oh, right. Tutorial. Evidence?
It's just the same as when you were in court. Must have done it many times during your trial. Simply select the present panel, dent panel, and choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use.
So, evidence that would give us a viable reason to investigate the next door cabin, is it? Alright, yes. I think I might know what we can use. Let's see if I can present the detective with the evidence he needs to persuade the captain.
What's that?
It's Kazuma's diary.
Just before he died, Kazuma-sama wrote something rather strange in his diary.
Strange? In what way?
But what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
A speckled band? This is strange.
Yes, we're trying to work out what he meant by that. But what I'd like to know is...
Don't tell me. The ventilator, is it?
Very astute, Inspector.
That ventilator clearly joins the next door cabin.
That's right. So if we could investigate in there, we might be able to work out what that speckled band was.
All right, then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. I'm stuck here until we arrive. Oh, it's distorted.
Here we go again. Here we go again. Here we go again. Here we go again. Here we go again.
Here we go again.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Is it good now?
Should be, yeah.
Okay.
The next thing.
The captain has given me strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see.
That sounds good.
I'll have to entrust the investigation to you.
Hey, you're willing to do that?
Yes. As long as you don't leave the first class cabin area. I'm afraid I can't remove the handcuffs, though.
But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders?
I'm a man of my word. And I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I failed to keep Asogi-san safe. This is the least I can do.
Thank you.
Seize the moment then, Naruhodo-san. Let's move and we can leave this cabin at last.
Can't we just walk through the door?
Move.
All right. Move. All right. Let's see what we can find out.
SS Buria.
Buria.
First class cabin passageway. Oh, I'm finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. It's less spacious out here than I thought it would be. And this is the most luxurious accommodation.
Yeah, check that giant mousetrap in the corner.
Look at that, it's
Yes,
huge.
indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on this study tour by the government. Oh, my laptop is going to die soon.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
I think it can make it 4 minutes.
Oh, boy.
Quick, lower the brightness.
Quick, get an adapter.
It's in the other room.
Ah, nuts.
Oh, no.
I'll try to get you till 7:30. So.
All right. Snow, you're gonna take over Susato when she leaves.
Okie dokie.
Cool.
That's why he's been put up in a first-class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage.
Really? That must have been awful. Oh, look over there. There's another crewman keeping watch. And he looks enormous, even if he's sitting down.
One next to him leads to the second-class accommodation. Suppose he's making sure that nobody comes in here who shouldn't.
I suppose. Like some people in handcuffs.
Naruhodo-san. You look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. Would have thought you'd been used to the ship by now. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already.
Well, yes, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Kazuma's trunk when I first came aboard. And ever since then, I've been shut up in that little wardrobe.
Must have been very trying time for you.
Please, don't give me that pitying look. I'm gonna examine. I'm doing the examining thing.
A trap for catching mice.
Yes, we had plenty of those back home in Japan. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait.
Let me see. Yes, I think that's what is called cheese. It's made from the milk of cows.
Cheese? I wonder what
Is it?
cheese is.
Cheese it.
Like,
Cheese.
wonder what that tastes like.
You can't eat it, Naruhodo-san. The trap will snap shut on your fingers.
Really? But... I suppose you're right.
Actually going to try it, were you?
All I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks was Kazuma's leftovers. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe.
Poor you. I'll find a little snack for you later.
Oh.
Aw.
Aw.
So thoughtful. What do you think this is? It's a very pleasant shape, isn't it?
It's the emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it.
I'm getting deja vu, aren't you?
Uh-oh.
Oh, an alarm.
Says, press only in times of emergency. Looks as though it sets off alarm bells ringing all over the ship. Brings the vessel to a complete stop.
Oh. This I have to say. What?
What are you doing, Naruhodo-san? You mustn't touch it!
But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs.
No, full well that's not what the alarm is for. If were to bring this vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation.
I wish everything would stop. This ship included.
If you have to do something foolish, at least make it something that doesn't affect anyone else. Okay, it's 7:30. I gotta bounce.
Bye. Thanks.
Later there.
Bye.
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 Till next time.
There she goes. Okay. What am I supposed to... I guess I can just examine it right now. This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator next to.
Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging.
Maybe whoever's in that cabin can solve that particular mystery. Let's ask.
Do you want me to do all the Russian people, or do you want Arkham to do this one?
Arkham to do it.
Okay. Yeah, Arkham do this
He's
one.
been sitting here for an hour and a half. He's so tall. Oh, excuse me, we, need to get inside this cabin here.
The sailor's eyes speak volumes. They're clearly saying, keep out.
That's what I wrote on the sign when we put over the wardrobe doors. Although this man's version is definitely more effective.
It doesn't look like he's going to let us pass.
That's a problem. Have to converse with this man. Excuse me, but could I ask you something?
You little stowaway murderer!
That wasn't a good start, wasn't it?
All right. Let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but would I perhaps ask you something? But could I perhaps ask something of you?
You little third-class lady's maid?
Oh, shit. We seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day, Susato-san.
I am not sailor. My mother's gave me name. I am senior crewman Bif Strogenov. Bif Strogenov.
Oh no! That's beautiful. Bif Strogenov. Oh, that's funny.
Ooh, the best thing is just to avoid contact, I think.
No, we have to look him directly in the eyes and say Beef Stroganoff.
Beef Stroganoff, okay.
Bif Strogenov.
Mr. Stroganoff, about the first-class cabin area.
Here we are in finest part of Borea steamship. For very important persons.
What sort of very important person? Person? Person?
Government officials, kings, queens, and traveling in secret. Many important persons. That is why I am always guarding this place.
Gosh, that's amazing.
But somehow I let stupid Stowaway inside. I want to pick you up and throw you in ocean, but Stroganov is not animal.
Thank you.
Stroganov have feeling too.
If I may, I was wondering... Is the cabin next to Mr. Asogosi's currently occupied?
Asogi.
Mr. Asogi's currently occupied?
Da!
Susato-san, do you understand that?
It sounded like da. I think it's probably Russian for yes. Or no.
Genius.
It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation.
Well, it sounds like there's somebody in the next door cabin at least.
Yes, it's tantalizing.
Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's?
His name is Mr. Grimesby Roylott. He's very important Western gentleman.
A Western gentleman?
Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy.
How can you be so sure about that? Sure.
Mr. Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lowly student from insignificant Far East Islands.
That was harsh.
Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard?
That is not your business.
Come to think of it, even though we've been at sea for 2 weeks now, and I've been in Kazuma's cabin the entire time, I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone there.
Well, presumably, since this gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important. Is that right?
That is not your business.
Are you on watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganov? Stroganoff, sorry.
Like the pasta dish?
All time. So criminals like you cannot come in or get out.
I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all?
It is sad about student boy.
Were you on watch last night as well?
Of course.
And you didn't notice anything at the time? Anything unusual?
Hey!
Susato-san, did you understand that?
It was clearly a no.
I saw nothing unusual. Nothing at all.
And you didn't hear any strange noises? Or sense anything was wrong in some way?
I said no!
Sorry! I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that he wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there.
This is enough. I cannot say more now.
Oh.
It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to cabin.
Yes, alright.
All get to second class area is staying locked at all times. You escape when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain, or as English say, when the pigs fly.
Yes,
Okay.
I understand.
Good. Now we can investigate this area properly, shall we?
Definitely.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hola.
Welcome back.
The book on top of the table there is really huge. There's a pen with it, too.
Yes, I'm sure that's the ship's log.
Shall we have a little look through it?
Ah! The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded.
You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting.
Anyway, look here. Last night's log is mostly blank.
Presumably that means there was nothing to report. Okay, no, nothing there.
That's the way to the second class area of the ship. Is something wrong?
I was thinking about making a run for it. Just for a moment. Things aren't exactly going well for me.
Ryunosuke, no.
I might be wrong, but I imagine the moment you reach for the handle of the door, that burly seaman would surely shoot you in the... Wait, shoot you dead. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there.
No, I started it with my talk of running away. And there's no way I could run away while Kazuma's death remains a mystery anyway. Okay, let's see. This looks like a plan of the SS Buria.
Buria.
Buria. It shows on each deck, look.
The Buria is a large-scale steamship with a triple skin hull. What a marvel of engineering!
Well, it's been playing on my head for a while now, but how is it that a huge lump of metal doesn't just sink to the bottom of the bottom of the ocean?
Oh? That's really simple, Naruhodo-san.
Yes?
Well, consider the Japanese archipelago?
Archipelago.
Archipelago.
The islands of Japan?
Yes. There's They're not metal, but there are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than this ship. And they don't sink, do they? Wait, is she asking? And they don't... Oh, okay. And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily in the sea since the gods created them.
Well, I suppose so. Can I just go in now? This is it. This is the cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to.
Yes, the ventilator from which Kazuma-sama wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging.
Maybe whoever's in this cabin can help solve that particular mystery. Let's ask.
Open sesame.
Dot, 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 dot.
No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries.
How annoying. What was that? It came from inside the cabin.
Such a high-pitched scream. It must have been from a woman. It must have been a woman.
It's you, Trav.
Okay.
Stand aside. I'm about to break the door down.
Mr. Sholmes!
I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking doors off their hinges.
He didn't even show up there. We just wanted to kick a door down.
That's a fantastic translation. I remember the original.
Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted.
It doesn't? Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What, pray, can I kick?
I'm really enjoying that they keep making him say how the deuce. That's fantastic. I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. Ninth of January, SS Bureau, first class cabin number 2. Will I ever get that word right? Who knows?
Yeah, you'll get it eventually. By the end of the case, for sure.
For sure.
Bullshit.
Who are you?
A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream.
A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin.
True. This old man does appear to be the only person here. But in that case, who just screamed?
Get out, all of you, now!
Please excuse the intrusion, but you're Mr. Grimesby Roylott, I believe?
Yes, that's me. And you are?
I am the one and only, the actual Herlock Sholmes. You've heard of me, no doubt.
No.
Oh.
So simple.
I am a great detective among great detectives. One who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely.
Look at that face. You can trust him.
No, you can't.
You can trust him.
That man uses that magazine like a business card.
A detective? I do not trust detectives.
We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. But there wouldn't appear to be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So might I be so bold as to ask you to open that small traveling case?
What? Don't be stupid. How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that?
Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk.
Shut up! Don't look at me.
Oh. Oh my! Did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yes! The case just shook!
Shock!
Shook! I'm so sorry.
Man!
Leave
So
now.
sorry!
Leave now. Otherwise, I call the steward.
So this is Kazuma's neighbor, Mr. Grimesby Roylott. Grimesby. There's no doubt about it. This strange Russian man is hiding something.
I couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns.
Okay, I converse. Wait. Yeah, I just go. Mr. Roylott, we'd like to ask you about something.
No,
Oh,
I do not want to talk. Leave my cabin now.
ugh, this is going terrible.
We're not getting anywhere here.
I agree. But there's someone else who can help. Isn't that right? Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Roylott.
Sorry, I can't hear you from over there.
Mr. Roylott, we'd like to ask to talk to you about something.
No,
Oh,
I do not want to talk. Leave cabin now.
hello? Perhaps a great detective?
Sorry, what was that? I can't hear you. I'm too busy being in this wardrobe. It's quite comfortable in here.
Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes?
You need only address me as Sholmes.
That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there?
Why, I was resting, of course.
Resting.
Indeed, I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of detection into service.
Oh!
And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken?
Well, no, actually, you're spot on for once.
Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylott, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what is the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why? The truth, of course. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians.
Right.
Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it?
Oh yes, please.
Well then, what you are about to see may well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case.
That's a lot of greats.
Could this man be a more hackneyed portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you?
What?
From time to time, it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness?
I really don't think either of these things should be occurring to you. Or anyone.
That's right. And Mr. Sholmes? I know this man's beard and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting, but I once read it is a capital mistake to theorize before you all have the evidence. Before you have all the evidence, it biases. Wait, no. Biases.
Yeah, biases.
It biases the judgment.
Shh! I must have complete silence!
What are you doing? Why are you peering in at my face like that?
Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now.
Hmm?
There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions.
What do you mean?
Number one. Your true identity is that of a villain. Using those shears, you are about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? And number two, the other conclusion I have drawn. You are, at this very moment, no less in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not?
Hey! Hey!
Oh, Naruhodo-san, I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholmes' great deductions without my own eyes. Without my own eyes. With my own...
You do need them.
Okay.
It's all good. It's good. That was a great deduction.
Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholmes. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person.
What? What an ineffable twaddle!
Twaddle.
That was certainly a word you just used.
Oh yes, I read about it countless times in the Adventures of Herlock Sholmes. And now I've experienced the astonishing impact of his great deduction firsthand. This is like a dream come true.
I can hardly believe it, but all the color has drained from Mr. Roylott's face. It looks like somehow both Mr. Sholmes' conclusions were right.
Oh, how could you?
How could I possibly know such things, you wish to say?
No.
It sounds getting weird again.
There it goes.
Alright, stop.
Guys, I also am gonna be leaving in maybe about 10, so I'm kind of getting the sleepy effect.
Yeah,
it's getting late here.
Maybe we should...
In like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, maybe we should stop now.
Yeah.
We'll continue this next time. Thanks for being around.
Yeah,
as usual.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, I'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Next week it is.
Next week.
Sounds good.
Has it been over 2 hours? Oh, yeah,
It's
2
been
hours.
2 hours and 2.5 hours, yeah.
Okay.
Ha ha.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright. Stopping stream!
Nikki.
Bye! Bye, guys! Say bye! Bye, guys!
Golly gee. Bye, guys.